these readings are new and they are legitimate in terms of the industry. Hi guys, and welcome to MentorMe's YouTube channel. My name is Alan and I'm a CFA chapter holder and also a trainer for CFA. And I thought to make a very short and crisp video on the various changes which have taken place in the CFA syllabus between 2021 and 22, which I feel are not major, but you need to still pay attention because you might just skip out on a lot of preparation, which might be necessary because these readings are new and they are legitimate in terms of the industry. Okay, so let's get started. So overall, if you see, till last year we had about 57 readings, and now we have about 60 readings in total. So in a way, there are three chapters which are added, to the entire curriculum. Right now, if you look at the overall deletion and addition, then you will see that there are about five readings which have been removed. Okay, which I'm going to talk about in some time. There are about seven readings, new readings which have been added, and a lot of updation in about 15 readings have taken place. Now, I would say the number of readings updated, which are those 15 readings, are just wording changes majorly, and a little bit of LOSs which have just moved out from one chapter to another chapter. And I will also talk about which is the major subject or topic in which this has actually happened. Right, but you need to understand that there are about total seven new readings which have come. Okay, so in case you are referring to an old material, it would be a better idea to get an updated curriculum, right? So let's go to the next part. Okay, now the five new chapters which show up in the entire curriculum is one is the data visualization, which is basically the organization and visualization of data, which is in quant, which gets combined with a lot of statistical concepts because statistical concept chapter has been removed. So that has been combined with data visualization in the quant chapter, which is the second chapter. Then ethics application has been introduced, which is basically the application of ethics in investment practice. Then we are talking about capital structure. This is in corporate finance. Then we've got linear regression as one of the chapters from level 2 syllabus, which has now moved to level 1 syllabus, majorly because the industry now is talking a lot on data analysis and data analytics and data science. So linear regression understanding, I feel, was the main reason why CFA has introduced this in level 1 syllabus. Okay, and then we've got behavioral finance one chapter, which shows up in your CFA level 1 syllabus, which is very interesting actually because at one end in equity, when we are trying to learn equity, we are talking about efficient market hypothesis, and on the other hand, when we are looking at behavior individuals, we understand how these both contradict. So it's an interesting chapter that you will figure out as you move to the new chapters, right? And now corporate finance is where I thought that there were a lot of cosmetic changes in which a lot of readings were rearranged, which I really didn't understand. Even I'm still trying to figure out what exactly was the reason. For example, the corporate finance name itself has been changed into corporate issues, which again I didn't understand. And you can see the summary of it out here in this infographic. You can see that in 2022 you've got introduction to corporate governance and ESG, which has been combined, which is already there, but then they've added just one more uh, aspect of ESG in that. Then you'll see uses of capital, which is nothing but capital budgeting in the previous year's reading. Then sources of capital, which was somehow a mix of uses of capital and sources of capital. Uh, it was already there in working capital and capital budgeting. Then you've got cost of capital, which was just stays the same way. The capital structure, which is a new chapter which has been added in the 2022 syllabus. But more or less, I did not see any from fundamentally drastic concepts which are being taught in capital structure, and measures of leverage remains the same, right? Sort of cosmetic changes in the corporate finance subject in the CFA syllabus in 2022, but you need not worry except one chapter which is capital structure, right? Otherwise, I think, and in fact, the chapters have become smaller. Earlier, we had just, these readings were comprehensive. Minimize these chapters to concise LOSs, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. All right, statistical concepts have been removed, but do not get fooled by this because statistical concepts are getting covered in organization and visualization of data. So it's just the name change, And plus they've added a lot of information knowledge on visualization of data, which makes sense actually, because I always used to wonder that why CFA syllabus only talks till those basic line charts. So I think they've gone to the extent of covering, I think, almost all the charts possible which are available in the industry, which I think is a good move. And I think when you're looking at this content, you should be aware on how and where these charts to be used. Okay, don't try to memorize these charts. You just need to get the logic of what charts make sense where. So I think it was a good move, but do not get fooled that the statistical concepts are still getting covered in the chapter of organizing and visualizing of data. Okay, and last, I think since the time I have been doing, I mean, since the time I had done, okay, now Gibbs, I think I always was in favor, even in 2012 when I was writing my CFA level 1 exam, that it should not be there because it really doesn't make sense. A lot of candidates don't even understand performance standards, and I think now that CFA has its own separate program on for performance standards, so it's a good move to remove KIPS in the level 1 syllabus. And I think it's best studied at probably even level 3, because that's when you will actually be dealing with portfolio management. But that's a good move, and that has placed with ethics application, which I think will be more of case studies of how ethics conflicts are there in the market and how to best deal with it. So these are the important CFA level 1 changes in the syllabus for 2022. Not much, but pay attention to linear regression because it can be daunting. You might want to focus in corporate finance, the new chapter which is on capital structure. There is a good chance that these new chapters, since they have been introduced, they might get tested heavily in the exam. So best of luck for the exam, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.